it really taught me a lot about life in terms of like, I can't control life. I can't control what other people go through and how they go about it. All I can control is like knowing what I want and knowing the parameters as to like how I'll be able to achieve that. And I also learned that like life isn't about meeting these like amazing personalities that like you just hook onto and then like never leave their side, you know? And I feel like life's been trying to teach me that for a while. Like it doesn't matter if you really like someone's personality. At the end of the day, that's just saying something more about you than them and like what you're into and like who you can be. And you know, you're more than welcome to like meet people in your life and like kind of like embody these aspects of their personality that you really appreciate, and like you can really um feed that part of your soul that is into that by being more of that, or you know, going after those things that they like, you know, because it really just means that like you like those things. But at the end of the day, like having an unhealthy obsession with people and like wanting them to be around you all the time, like that's just not a satisfactory way to live life. And it's actually never going to be satisfied, that feeling, by, you know, wanting those people to be around you. And people talk about this a lot, and it's like, you know, it's like the push and pull magnet situation that is kind of like just life. You know, the more like you pull for something, the more it's going to push away from you, and vice versa. And yeah, in life you can just never get too attached to anything. Like even if it was like really magical and lovely, like you can't just let that run your life. And I'm really glad that I learned that at a young age, because like I just feel like much older, and I feel like no one can my I won't ever like basically let my emotions be like mishandled again, is what I'm trying to say. Like I'll never put myself in a place to be so hurt again by someone else. And that's because I just know that like I'm here for myself now. And before, I feel like I was silencing, it was both. I was like silencing myself, and I was also listening to myself, which was like inevitably like breaking up our relationship. But for the most part, I was like ignoring myself, and I was looking past every like bad thing in and I was rationalizing that like that was going to change, and like things were going to be different, and you know, I'll put my foot down when. And you know, it just wasn't working out. And I feel like at the end of the day, like I can just let this experience shape me to be different the next time. And next time when things aren't okay, like they just simply won't be. And I really think that like I'll only come across like a few relationships like this in my life that um like that really had such like a hold on me, I guess. And so I'm not really worried, because I know that like the next one is probably gonna end up happening in like a few years or so, just because it was like really rare. And I think that like those things just genuinely don't come around too often, which is why I was fighting so hard for it. But at the end of the day, like the next time I make like a really rare connection, I'll probably end up I probably would have ended up doing the same thing had I not known better. So, you know, I feel like that's what life's all about. It's just getting you prepared for the right people to be in your life. And, you know, I mean, time is the winner of all. Like, who knows? Who knows? Who, what, when, where, you know? I feel like the biggest thing has just been like acceptance. And I think that like that has really been like something that's like altered my brain chemistry, has been like the acceptance of like not having someone in your life that you thought like was really gonna be there. And like it's fine now, you know. Like at first it was really really hard to deal with, and I couldn't understand it. And you know, I had all these control issues to get past, and I had to like really get by the fact that like I felt like I was like lied to, because I felt like, oh, okay, like this person said that they love me, but they're not here anymore, which means that like they didn't love me. And I felt like I had to give myself the right script to be able to move on. Like I felt like I wasn't able to move on until I was like, oh, like they lied to you, or oh, they didn't. And the truth is that like neither of those like pathways made me feel normal or made me feel at peace. Only time has made me accept things the way that they are. Only like crying after like months of thinking that I'm over something and like just bawling again, and like literally just been trying to rewire my brain chemistry to who I was, not just January before my last relationship, but even to the one before that, and then the one before that. And it's like when you like trace back like who I was, it was this person who was like in between relationships and in either I need to be me periods or heartbreak periods. And like before my last situationship, I had just gotten out of a relationship, breaking up with this guy, and we had been together for like almost a year. And so that was like a really distant part of myself that I was trying to get back to that person. And then that person was also hurt from another relationship that didn't actually end up getting as close to me, and I was able to get by it faster. But that person was hurt. And so trying to get back to who you are is not real. You're never going to be able to get back to that person because that person has been losing themselves because they didn't want to catch up to who they were in the moment. And here I am now, 22 years old, and I just feel like I finally realized that I just needed to catch up to now. And I think that the whole like being in a relationship thing, it's like very validating. And so you have all this motivation to like get ready and like be a really good part of yourself because you have to look really good in this relationship that you're really proud of. And then it's like, oh, I feel really validated because this person loves me. And at the end of the day, sorry. At the end of the day, that's what I was doing. And that person's validation is A, never going to be enough, and B, they're never going to be able to validate you enough. So why are you asking someone to do something that is not even for the result that you're looking for? You're just lost. You're just lost in the world of, am I good enough? And the truth is that it all comes down to if you're able to look at yourself in the mirror however you are now and just say you are good enough. And maybe you're not perfect, and maybe maybe in another world you would be considered perfect. You know what I mean? But here's the thing is you have to rewire how you see yourself. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to be able to point to me and say, you're ugly. Because the truth is that on the inside, I'm a very beautiful person. And so that shines out beyond any physical appearance. So me trying my best and me actively filling my life with things that make me feel good, that's the best I can do. And like I'm never going to be perfect, and I've gotten rid of this stigma for myself that I have to be perfect and I have to look so good and I have to do all these things, because just the idea of doing all those things exhausts me from doing any of them. When in reality, if I was just healthy enough to do 2, 3, or 4, I could probably have the motivation to keep going. And in time, develop those habits to where I'm doing those things every day. And I feel like this person that I was running from was someone who didn't want to accept the fact that they're not perfect. Because I'm a perfectionist, and if there's a will, there's a way. That's always been my thing, and if they can't do it, then I can. And don't ask someone to do something that only you can do right, kind of thing. Like, that's always been me. I went to film school for about 5-6 years, and I was a film student for about 5-6 years, like throughout high school too. And it's like that person was always like, okay, like I'm gonna have to do it myself, like I will assert this position, and I mean, now if you look at my job, and I'm in a management position, and it makes sense the way that I've looked at situations and been able to resolve them. But human kindness and self-kindness is not something that you can power over and obsess. It's not something that you can't look at yourself like a robot and think, I'm gonna fix this mess. because that mess needs a whole lot of love, you know? And like I feel like I've always worked with kids, and working really closely with this family that I'm working for right now has taught me to like really work with kids that have struggles. And I'm a kid that had struggles, and I realize that now more than ever. And you know, like those things lead to addictions, and they lead to really confused people. But at the end of the day, when you go back to like the root of these people, adults, and addictions, and you know, whatever it may be, and you realize that like this all started in their childhood, you just realize that like all you needed as a kid was love. And so you can't like perfect yourself as if you were a robot, because the one thing that went wrong with you in the first place was getting treated like a robot. And the truth is that you really need like a lot of love to be able to fix yourself. And that's a lot of love and a lot of understanding and a lot of kindness. A lot of kindness and a lot of forgiveness. And you know what? Like, don't make it so that you have to force yourself to do things. If you can't do something, let's focus on that. Let's focus on why you feel like you have to. Let's focus on why it isn't a natural thing to you. Maybe there's some barriers and some years and chapters that need to be broken into before you can start thinking of a solution. You know, because for me, I was like, wow, I can't do anything. Like, I have ADHD, like, I need Adderall, and it's like, start doing so much, and in reality, like, I'm not getting very much done to my soul. To whereas now I feel like I can literally be in my bed all day for the rest of the day. And if that's what I have chosen to do with my day, very well. Then that's what you did with your day. And if I want to use that as some kind of statement the next day, then that's what its power will be for. Like, yesterday I did this, and you know, it gave me a break from life to where I felt like I didn't have to do anything. And it made me feel really okay to be empowered in that choice, because now I'm able to do all these adult things, and I feel like I've had my break. But instead, do that instead of sitting there and being like, wow, I'm such a lazy piece of shit, I can't get up. No, because at the end of the day, if that's what you're choosing to do, then be empowered in it. And I feel like that's what the whole point of this video kind of is, which is like, be empowered in your decisions. Don't let them be for naught, because they're not. You know, all of the decisions that you make are for a reason. And it's going to be up to you to use those to harm yourself with foul language, or it's going to be used to uplift yourself for the next day and what's going to happen tomorrow. Someone's going to love me for the way that I look like this, and they're not going to trip about like me being perfect all the time. Like, they're just gonna trip if I can be happy, because everyone wants someone who can be happy. You know what I mean? And I feel like ever since I found out that I can be pretty, I forgot how to be happy. And I'm still gonna forgive myself, and I'm still gonna like be nice to myself, because I'm remembering that like we live in a society where like women are like supposed to like be one way, or like they're really like shamed almost, like, or maybe that's what it feels like, is like that you're gonna be like an outcast if you aren't this way. And that's really unfortunate that like women have to deal with like this world of like in which like they're either like ugly or pretty, you know what I mean? And like we're given all these tools to like make that choice ourselves, like, oh, I don't have to be ugly even though I feel like I am, you know? It's like, okay, like maybe you are ugly, but you can do like plastic surgery, and you can do Botox, and you can change your eyebrows, change your lashes, change your hair, like change your skincare, hit the gym. And it's like, what about the time to go to school, look after kids, help your family, have a job to like get by in life? And it's like all that goes out the window. Well, guess you're just gonna be ugly, and it's your own fault. And that's kind of like the way that it feels to go about this world, because it's like You feel like it's your choice. You feel like you've been given the choice. But in reality, the choice is in the moment. And the choice is how you treat yourself every single time that you feel awful about yourself or that you're going through something really terrible. You have the choice to either be mean to yourself or to be nice to yourself. And every time you break down, if you're nice to yourself and you just tell yourself, like, okay, we're getting to the root of things, and you're going to be able to write letters to yourself, forgiving yourself for things that have hurt you, forgiving others for things that have hurt you. And you're able to be still in the moment and think, ugly or pretty, I am a survivor, I am special, I am powerful, and I'm happy because I'm grateful. And honestly, like, what more could I ask for? You know what I mean? Like, simply, what more could I ask for? But seriously, guys, I think the most powerful thing you can do for yourself is, like, if you quote unquote mess up, if you can be really nice to yourself about that, I think that that's genuinely one of the most powerful things that you can do. Like, if you can stay in bed all day watching, like, other people get their life together on YouTube, and if you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, nice, like, that's what you did today, and you're fucking cool, and I love you. If you can do that, I think that's the most powerful thing that you can do for yourself. Because now you can make those decisions to, like, be, like, quote unquote healthy or be better, which are, like, those are words that, like, they can be used in so many different ways, not even just one structured way, which is like, oh, you work out every day. No, you know, that's not what it means to be healthy. So if being healthy is more than just working out, and it's also about your mental health, then let yourself take a mental health day and be completely unproductive. Like, I'm a huge advocate for advocating for yourself. You know, even if it's not, like, these perfect things, who cares? Like, that shouldn't define if you're a good person or not. Because to me, it just doesn't. Okay, you guys, so I changed. This is my outfit for the day. It's a blue dolphin-inspired outfit. But yeah, I was thinking this is gonna be, like, my clean up my room and, like, work outfit. I don't even know if I'm wearing this shirt right, because I, like, tied it up and I don't know if it's supposed to do that. But yeah, is my hairstyle my like my new expensive $500 hairstyle that I wanted? No. But is it awesome? Yes. Like, I love myself. Thanks for getting your hair done last time so that you can look this way. And thanks for buying yourself this shirt in a $500 haul that you didn't need that one time. Like, I love dolphins. Like, thanks for doing that. What else? Thanks for having all this skincare to, like, you know, do this cute little skincare routine and take care of your skin. Do I have my eyebrows microbladed for a $600 service, or have, like, perfect teeth, which are, like, still, like, can't even put a price tag to it? And, you know, maybe you don't have eyelash extensions, which would be another $300. No. And if I had all of those things, like, would I feel better? Probably. But I love the person that I am right now. I love this person who can just inspire others and feel good about themselves no matter what. And yeah, that's so much more Malibu Barbie than actually having those services done and looking that way. You know what I mean? It's about what's on the inside. And yeah, I'm basically super proud of myself. Edit this video, and I'm also going to work out a little bit today, and I'm going to clean my room today. And yeah, I have $0 to my name, but I'm just going to have a nice little day, and then I have work at 8 p.m. Actually, he just told me I don't have to come in tonight. Go me.